We are here in the oldest city in America. Cheech here himself from Whiskey Encore. What's the second best store in town?
I'm the one who's first one and the second.
Is that what you wait till I get here and then you go around telling everybody I'm famous? I feel like I've got to buy a bottle of St. Augustine Distillery. What are your thoughts on them?
Is this on the record?
We are here in the oldest city in America, and honestly, one of the most beautiful cities so far, the little bit of it I've seen, but we are hunting for bourbon. And I've got a local tour guide here, the man, the myth, the legend, Cheech here himself from Whiskey Encore. Be sure to check out Whiskey Encore on YouTube. Late night, Tuesday late night live
Correct.
streams?
Yeah, I was up till 3 something this morning.
Oh, I forgot his stream was last night, and I hit him up for bourbon hunting. And we got Brian with a Y. Don't use an I, Brian with a Y right here. What are we looking at here? How's the scene here? How's the bourbon hunting scene?
You'll find stuff.
It's gonna be expensive stuff, it sounds
Yes.
like. Okay.
Some of it.
Is it all touristy? Is that why everything's super expensive?
Somewhat.
What was your catchphrase a minute ago for St. Augustine?
Come on vacation, leave on probation.
All right, so it's that kind of town.
It can be.
Are you more optimistic, Brian, with a Y?
A little bit.
Okay. This store was the first one open. It opens an hour before everybody else, and I'm gonna do a tour with St. Augustine Distillery. We didn't set up anything formal. I just booked a tour online. We're gonna go over there and check that out. So I've got a few hours to try to get some bourbon hunting in before we end up hitting that. So time was of the essence, and PJ's Fine Wine and Spirits here happens to open at 9 o'clock.
There's only one of these left. You might want to pick it up.
The Private Barrel Smoke Wagon. Oh, this is yours.
That's my pick.
This
yeah.
is your pick.
It's the last one.
All right, fine. Fine. Hard selling me. He guilted me into that one right there, okay? So we're having to watch the budget. We're on a 30-day trip here. Lots of bourbon hunting. We got plenty of space, not plenty of budget.
PJ, this is Brewzle.
You are PJ himself.
Yes, sir, I'm
And I'm TJ. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
meeting you.
PJ.
Yeah.
I know.
Got the barrel proofs. Which one is that in the middle? Is that the...
Sonoma triple finish.
Okay, Sonoma triple finish. I know lots of people are looking for that Valencia. I don't know what the MSRP on it is, though. Do you know?
Probably right around there.
You think it's right around
a
there?
little less. Probably 99 or something like that.
I've got one, so I'm going to leave it there. But PJ's has got a Valencia, one, if somebody wants it. It'll probably be gone before you see the video. I don't think I've ever seen that Rebel Small Batch Reserve there
That's new.
either. Yeah. I literally saw Rebel Rye yesterday, too. Not something I've seen.
How long you been in Florida?
Today. Literally just came in last night. I've got Jill and the girls, and then we're headed here and then up to Savannah, and then Hilton Head, and then we got to be in Nashville this weekend, and then I'm in Kentucky for 2 weeks from Nashville.
Oh, Brian's going to be in Kentucky next week.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing in Kentucky next week?
Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark, heading up to Bardstown, heading up to Louisville.
So you just got a bunch of tours set up and stuff?
All week long, yep.
Nice. That's awesome. Charles Goodnight. That's a swanky bottle.
Beware of swanky bottles.
Yes, the
But they
fancier
get
the
you.
bottle, and it looks like Texas whiskey. Like, look at the color on that thing.
Yeah, it looks like coffee.
But I wonder who makes this. Bottled by Goodnight Distillery, but like who actually makes it? 6-year-old Texas whiskey right there. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the comments right now if you've ever seen this bottle. I'm a little scared of Texas whiskey because there's only so many times I'm in the mood to chew on a baseball glove. I feel like I've got to buy a bottle of St. Augustine Distillery. What are your thoughts on them? I mean, I've got the tour. I'll probably pick it up there, but...
Is this on the record?
That's it. Moving on.
Double Oak Chicken Cock.
That's pretty good. We had
Is
that.
it?
Yeah, Greg Snyder was here. When was that? About a month ago?
A month and a half, yeah.
At one of our other stores down the road. And,
Nice.
I don't know. I tried like 6 or 7 different chicken cocks that day.
I've seen a bunch of chicken. Like, honestly, I didn't even know they had 6 or 7 different things, and I've seen so many yesterday when we were hunting on our way here. Like, every store had like a bunch of limited chicken cock stuff. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're pushing out a lot of single barrels right now, and then the new finished stuff.
Yeah.
Chicken cock, I believe, is contract distilling at Bardstown.
I believe so. I believe
So
you're right.
BBC
Yeah.
distillate. But
We're talking to them about doing a double oaked, but the cool thing about them is they'll do a full private label. So we're gonna put me riding the chicken. So I gotta wait
it's
for
gonna be
that
a big
one.
chicken.
It's gonna come on, man. We photoshopped me smaller, okay? Like we're not gonna.
you don't
It's
make
not
the
gonna be the
chicken
scale,
bigger, you make-
okay?
okay, you
Sorry
make-
for the crude scale on our tater stickers. All right. Have you had this?
yes, love
That's so freaking good.
it. It's MGP
Yeah, but it's really good.
Have you had that?
I have not had that. Jim Beam, 7 years.
I haven't yet. It's around, so.
We're gonna have to get that one right there. 7-year-old Jim Beam. Because like I love the Baker 7. Now that's 107 proof. This one's gonna be, so my guess is it's that at 90 proof.
Essentially, yes.
But that's
For 20.
That's 50, yeah, for $20. Bunch of Nelson. I saw their Nelson Greenbrier cognac finish yesterday, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. It was $120, I think, we were in Dothan, Alabama.
Okay.
Yes, everything is more expensive in Alabama. Never seen the Templeton Bourbon either. Fortitude. Ooh, man, that is thin. Yep. You stay right there. Gunner's Wheated. Anything here in particular other than your pick and this you think I need to try?
No, those would probably be the ones I'd steer you to first, but there's things behind the front counter if you want to.
Yeah, we'll go look at them.
You want to see there's a lot of zeros.
If you just got budget.
If you have the budget,
there's a counter,
which we've already established.
It's
early in the trip.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's very early in the trip, so you don't know what you're going to run into, but we'll go look. It's always worth a conversation, I guess. There's some of the limited chicken cock stuff. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof 124. So apparently this Elvis brand now has a peanut butter bacon banana flavored version.
Well, it's Elvis whiskey.
Have you tried that?
I have not.
She was selling it hard, and I was like, there's no way I believe anything you say. I don't believe anything you say.
That sounds more like Brewzle content than Whiskey Encore content.
Yeah, it's not my kind of thing. Maybe I'll have Will try it if I buy one. That's what we'll do. 14-year-old uncut, unfiltered, straight bourbon in another fancy bottle.
Yeah, the fancy price.
$229. Dude, I don't even look at the prices until I decide if I want it. And then, so I talk myself into it. Then I look at the price, and then I'm like, nope.
I'm not going to tell you what to do, you're a grown man, but I would talk you out of that.
It's a blend of Tennessee whiskey, Nashville, and Indiana distillate.
But I don't believe the Tennessee is the Dickel source. I think that's the Tennessee Distilling Company.
Okay. Still not.
Still not interested.
No, not at that price.
And I'll
Not
let you
at
know
that
that the
price.
St. Augustine stuff is probably a little less expensive here than it is at the
Is it?
distillery. Yeah.
Let's save
You'll
a few
get to
dollars.
taste them all there, though.
Yeah, I know. Jill's gonna make me bottle one or do something crazy. She's gonna hit the touristy stuff. Once she gets on it over there, that's gonna happen. 3 bottles at the first place. We might have gone too far already. Ooh, that's a little 13th Colony store pick down there. It looks like It looks like they're cash strength.
The new cash strength.
Oh, they've released. That's the new release cash strength. Their regular release stuff. Because until this year, you couldn't get a cash strength that wasn't a pick, as far as I
This is
know.
a 95er.
Okay, so that's a regular. The labels are similar. I think the cash strengths are a little darker color bronze there. Got a Stag Junior up there. Blanton's Gold. Magnus Cigar Blend for $229 is not bad. Russell's 13 for $229. All right, I think we loaded up. We loaded up here. We got to take these, and we got to take Cheech's Smoke Wagon pick right here. I want a Smoke Wagon pick. I want one. I want one for myself. I want a barrel of Smoke Wagon, and they have not responded to our emails at this point. So I'm just going to live through Cheech. Not an empty barrel. Who wants empty barrels of whiskey, man? I mean, you got to empty them, put them into a bottle. Yes, I'll take it in the barrel if they want to get rid of it that way. All right, what's our next store?
I can't tell you.
You can't say inside here. Is that what it is?
No, it might offend the current store owner.
Okay, so we got to go outside.
Yeah, you can take it.
You know where we're going. Is he open yet?
I don't know. Is it there yet? That's issue.
What's the second best store in town?
I'm the one who's first one and the second one.
Okay, what's the third best store in town
There
then?
is none.
We'll catch up with y'all at the next store. All right, stop number 2. This is not gonna be the most optimal route if you're trying to recreate this, because we had like 15 minutes and we went pretty far away to catch this next store, and this is Shores Liquor. Hey, how's it going? Not too bad. Just doing a little bourbon hunting. All right, so I've passed on the Pure Kentucky in a couple of videos. A lot of folks asked about it. I bought one. I bought one in the Athens hunt. So I've gotten like a ton of comments asking me about that, why I passed on that. I bought it. It's pretty good. Rabbit Hole cast strength pick, starting to see those a lot. RD1 stuff. Y'all let me know if y'all are a huge fan of these Kentucky Owls. I can't do it for $300. I just can't bring myself. Have you had one?
I've got confiscated
I've got confiscated. That was my problem too, is I bought confiscated.
Yeah.
And for the price, I was just like, I didn't love it.
No.
And then I'm not going to pay twice that for one of these.
I've heard good things about some of their other
Batch
stuff.
1 through 9 bourbons are blended by Dixon Denman,
Yeah.
and then after that, it's not.
Hmm.
And then confiscated had nothing to do with Dixon.
Right. Well, there you go. So I got the wrong ones.
Yeah.
And now it's too late.
Yeah. And then the ryes are really known. The batch 1 through 4 ryes.
Okay.
Those are all really good.
I'll have to keep an eye out for one of those.
Batch 9 bourbon, you see.
Batch 9 bourbon. I'll keep an eye out. Let's look. There's a 10. I see a bunch of 10s and 11s. What? Those are not hard to come by.
Don't understand.
I got 5 barrels on the way. 2 barrels of that. In Reno, we saw one of those marked up like that. And it's like, I just assumed it was in a spot for one of the limited release ryes, right? Like the Heritage release ryes or something, the 2020 limited release. That's just a single barrel proof. So
Anybody tried the Blue Note Cask Finish series?
I haven't had that.
That's got a,
Blue Note Cask
Those
Finish
got-
series? I have not.
They've got a hefty price tag on
We're
it.
talking to them about coming up and maybe doing a distillery takeover. The only thing I've ever had from them is uncut, unfiltered.
Yeah.
Yeah, the uncut.
Which I like the
Decent.
uncut.
Yeah, some of
unfiltered.
those
they're
picks are good.
affordable. Got some short barrel down here. Look at there. Store pick, single barrel. It's not the toasted, doesn't look like. Oh, they got the toasted over there. Yeah. Nice. Get some distribution.
Got some Widow Jane's, got the Knob 12.
15 year. The Knob 12 is getting much more available. Like over the last year, I've started seeing it everywhere, which is great. 15-year Widow Jane, a collection of our oldest and rarest. 250 though. It better be very rare.
So when 13th Colony first came out, we had them in Florida a lot. And then we kind of lost them for a little bit, and we're only getting the regular rye and the regular bourbon. But over the last couple months, we started getting more single barrels, starting to see picks again and things like that.
You've talked me into this, man. This is your fault right here. This is your fault, okay? This is
You guys
Cheech's
know who to
fault right
blame.
here. The peanut butter, banana, bacon flavored Elvis. I said no to it in Dothan, Alabama. This is Cheech's fault. The next home live stream, we're gonna crack this sucker open, give it a try, and give an honest review of this awful whiskey.
How can be honest if you've prejudged it as awful?
So here's what I've done is I've tried to set it up for success. Because if I think it's awful and it's okay, I'm gonna give it a glowing
I
review.
can see that.
I will fairly judge it, although I think it's going to be awful.
I'm tempted on that Charter Oak. It's $300 though.
It's the French Oak Charter Oak.
Yeah.
It's so, have you had it?
I haven't had that
It's
one.
so
I've had
good.
I've had other Charter Oaks.
I've had the French Oak. It's really, really good. I don't know if I want it for that price, but Wild Turkey Generations over there. Cigar Blend 209. There's a handy Sazerac back there. Some Van Winkles. You know what the prices are on those? You got the Van
The Charter
Winkles.
Oak's $300.
You got some Van Winkle. Well, the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. I never had that one. I mean, I've never owned it. I've tried it.
Well, we can ask the prices.
We can ask. I didn't know if you knew. All right, so we saw the allocations. Van Winkles, Van Winkle Rye. We had some conversations around pricing. Didn't want to be on camera for that, so we did not show that. We did not come to terms. Really would like to take that Wild Turkey Generations, the Charter Oak, and that Van Winkle Rye, because I don't own either of those, but man, they're here. If you want them, you're gonna pay secondary for them, but they're here. If y'all are down like that, if y'all got that kind of budget or you want it that bad, you know where they're at. So let's head to the next store, see if we can't find something a little more in my price range. Where are we at, Cheech?
We're at the Golden Ox Liquors in St. Augustine South. This is going to be like a one person at a time on the liquor aisle, on the whiskey aisle.
That's small. Hey, how are you? Ooh, it's in knob 18. That's not a bad price on a knob 18, isn't that about what they go for?
Fairly reasonable.
169 on a stag, which is just above what I'm willing
Just
to do.
the top end.
It's just right. I mean, like 150 is my tops on a stag. More Knob Creek 12 right there. Single barrel strength 4 roses. Store pick. Man. OESV right there. Did you just say I'm famous? Did you just say I'm famous? Lord, is that what you wait till I get here and then you go around telling everybody I'm famous?
Kind of a big
He's
deal.
lying to you. I'm kind of a big fella.
That's
Not
what
a big
I meant.
deal. Yeah. Buffalo Trace, 2 bottle limit. $20 Baker 7. I'll tell you what, I love the prices in Florida for the normal stuff. So much better than back home. I mean, a lot of places I go, this normal stuff is like 20, 30, 50% more. Florida's liquor tax is pretty good. Like when you cross the border south, it's good to stop and pick up your normal shelf stuff for sure. Problem being just the tourist pricing on all the hard to find stuff is kind of, you know, not going to find a great deal on anything here, I don't think, unless we pulled some strings, but I'm not going to do that. Elijah Craig toasted barrels up there. Seeing those a lot lately. Barrel proof A124.
You see anything you can't live without?
I don't think so. We've already bought too much whiskey this morning. I think we're 4 bottles in.
We are.
In 3 stores so far. So we gotta kind of keep it down. I appreciate it though. And those are some things
it's a
I'm
cool
gonna
little
catch.
store.
Oh yeah,
good
it's great.
stuff in it.
Definitely
A lot of stuff packed in it.
it is got it squeezed in here tight. Well, I had a little bit of stuff behind you here. Yeah, oh, the Dickel bonded there. Y'all go ahead. Y'all jump on that. I'm gonna stay away from it.
That's
St.
the good
Augustine
one.
stuff. That's the good. The
Yeah,
Dickel
the
bonded.
11-year Dickel bottled and bond is the good one. I mean, it's the good one and still Dickel.
It's I mean, good is a relative term, I guess. It's, you know.
Are vitamins
it's
good
fine.
for you? They are
Yeah, they
good
are
for
good.
you. Do I want to taste them in my
Strong
whiskey?
bones.
Probably not.
Yeah. All right, they had a lot of good stuff there. They had the obvious tourist markup. For tourist markup, it was not terrible. It was not bad. It's just like I've got a kind of a price range I'll buy a Stag or a Blanton's in, and they were just above it, which is probably the best tourist markup. Like make you stretch just a little, but then I'm just not buying tourist markup. So we are on to the next door to see what we find. All right, next stop, Broudy's Liquor. There's only cash drinks everywhere, boy. Or not cash drinks, excuse me, the small
colonies
batch.
just everywhere.
Yeah, 13 colonies.
We got the
They've
caps.
gotten some serious distribution.
They really have. They've upped it quite a bit.
I forget some of my benchmark stuff is empty. And some of it, my problem with the benchmark stuff is it doesn't last. Like, and I don't mean doesn't last as in we drank it, which we do, but the tops are the metal screw tops and they never stay tight. And if they sit for too long, they get oxidized. And so I can't keep those around for years, so I have to keep buying them to have them at the house. I mean, luckily they're 15, 17, 20, 23, like
Not terribly
stupidly good pricing for that whiskey. All the Heaven's Door in the world. Big Heaven's Door fan here, I guess. Minnesota wheated bourbon whiskey. Wonder who that's from. Wonder who made that. Is that going to be like a J. Henry, maybe?
Not a fan.
Not a fan of J. Henry?
No, I'm not a fan of Heaven's
Okay,
Door.
gotcha.
But for really personal reasons. Just because it's...
You just hold a lot of vendettas that got nothing to do with the whiskey, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the reason. It's a Bob Dylan thing.
So it's a musician beef.
Oh, it's no beef. I'm just not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just not a fan of Bob Dylan.
Correct.
So you're not going to try stupid whiskey.
I have some of his stupid whiskey.
Okay.
It's all right.
What do you think? You like Heaven's
Didn't
Door?
like it. Didn't like it.
I think I have the 10. I believe I have open. Is the one I thought was pretty good, but I'll have to go back to it. I've literally one try and moved on. There's the Takaji Cask Yellowstone limited release from this year, or last year I think it was. Bardstown Discovery 10 right there. I don't think I have that one. Dude, the prices at the last place were really nice. This Baker's was like $49, was it? Over there, I think.
You had the Sagamore Double Oak Rye. I think you've had that, right?
Yeah, I've had that. I don't own it, though. I probably need to buy it. Dadgummit. We're killing the budget on this one. We're going to have to take it easy in the next one. We got to grab that.
Oh, saving the best store for last.
Jackson, Kentucky Distillery?
Yeah, it's a Jacksonville brand.
Is it any good? You can't say. So you're afraid to say.
As
You're
far as
afraid
the
to say.
local whiskeys goes, that's probably one of the better ones. it's decent. Is it $90 decent?
Sounds like a very political answer. It's bonded. It's 100 proof, but that color makes me think it might be a little extra aged there. Put that in the sun. Like that is dark. Now it's Florida, so could just be hot. handmade in the heart of the first coast. Florida, there was not a coast before this one. Florida's beautiful Jacksonville Beach. Our award-winning whiskeys contain only the finest ingredients and are aged to perfection. Our bourbon remains exclusive and limited to maintain quality. That's some good marketing copy right there, boy. Our unwavering fixation to quality of double distillation in copper pot stills, water sourced from Florida's aquifer, and using fresh American charred white oak cask, along with extracting an unfiltered spirit, creates a rich and robust bourbon for your sipping pleasure. Now I got a decision to make. Do I get this? Do I get the Sagamore? Do I get both? I mean, it's bonded, it's local, they distill it themselves.
Do you want to taste it first?
Oh, they got samples?
I don't know if they do here, but the next store might have a sample of it.
We'll wait and see if we can sample it over there. That's always a good call if you can find somebody that samples whiskey to try that.
But I'm a wholehearted yes on the Sagamore
yeah,
Double Oak.
this is a yes. But this one I might could find somewhere else later on in a different hunt. You could just buy them all in one hunt and then not buy them in the next hunt. Would y'all watch hunts if I didn't buy anything? Is it still as interesting to you if I do not acquire any whiskey during the hunt? I don't know. Y'all have to let me know in the comments.
You mean you can just hunt it and not buy it?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a bourbon hunt, not a bourbon kill.
Oh, that's true. We
So
don't actually
maybe you could just possibly just
show the shelves
just
and
hunt.
leave.
Just like, hey, look, this is the whiskey and move on. Because the thrill is seeing what I find, not necessarily what I buy. But like, y'all, let me know. I don't know. Like, these are things we're trying to figure out. How much of it is me buying? Because we're trying to do a lot more bourbon hunts, which means I have to do less buying per hunt to be able to not have to sell my house to continue making videos. And if I sold my house, I wouldn't have a place to put all this whiskey anyway, and that would be a problem. It's not going to take in a storage building for very long. So, you know, we gotta make decisions. Y'all let me know. That Bullet Rye's everywhere now, though. I'll give them that. It went out hard when it went out. How do they typically handle allocation? They just put it out, or is it behind the counter?
Here, you kind of get access to that through their points system.
Okay.
Like, you kind of have to be a regular customer to get that stuff.
Makes sense.
But sometimes they just periodically just put it out. If you're here at the right time, you can
Yeah.
get some.
Get lucky.
You got anything hiding?
Another single barrel strength, 4 Roses.
Okay, that's what I figured. This is Brewzle. He's the biggest YouTuber
OBSO pick
doing
right
whiskey.
there. Jeez, there's the Heaven's Door for you right there, man. One of those bootlegger novels right there. The Jimmy Red Bourbon Bottle and Bond 10th anniversary. That's what Cheech needs right there.
Yeah, it's not my birthday. It's Brian's birthday, and he's welcome to buy himself a gift.
It's very fancy.
It is.
My assumption is it's a really nice $50 bottle in a $520 box. What is this? I don't even know what Oh, that's the rare hair.
Yeah, I thought that's the one you said, or was it just...
No, I was just looking at the Jimmy Red. It's okay. You don't have to. I mean, you ain't got to open them. You can get them down if you want. I don't mind looking closer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a neat
It's not
package.
$300 cool, but I like that. That's awesome. But y'all did a great job with that packaging right there. If y'all just wanted to, Jimmy Red, if you just wanted to send me one of those, I would drink it on camera. Same thing for rare hair. Like, those are so freaking interesting looking. I just don't have that kind of budget. I'm not that sophisticated. Thank you, appreciate it. Like, I need that Jimmy Red. That one interests me. I don't know why that weird bottle interests me, but I haven't bought one of those. I passed on it a few times. I'm gonna buy their regular release. I think I'm gonna try to pick one of those up. We're gonna be up the coast. I'm sure we'll see it on this hunting trip. Probably gonna buy one of their regular release stuff, but that's pretty neat. That and that rare hair interests me, for sure. So we got more stores to go to?
Oh, yeah.
All right, got that Sagamore Double Oak. That'll be a good addition to the selection at the new studio. So we're gonna head to the next store, catch up with y'all then. Our next stop on this St. Augustine tour is another Shores Liquor. We're gonna check this one out, see if the selection's any different than the other one. The other one was the one that had like the Van Winkle rye and all that. Pretty high secondary price on those though. All the Buffalo Trace in the world.
Oh yeah, no
right
shortage
here at the
around
door.
here.
Michter Straight Rye. Bourbon, $35 for a big Buffalo Trace. What is this? That's not bigger than a 750, isn't it? Is that a liter?
Liter of cola? Of what?
It just feels large. I'm trying to find the size on it.
Yeah, because I think the 175s are like 50, 58, 52
Yeah, it says 1 liter on the back.
in the box.
Yeah, Yes.
We
Okay.
missed
Everybody
the
at
box.
home was like, "It's right there,
We
man. It's
missed
right
the
there."
box.
Don't read the box. 1792 bottle in bond. A lot of folks ask why I don't buy those, because I have them, and we don't drink them. Like, they're good, but we just don't go back to them a whole lot. So no sense in buying a bunch of backups of something you already have, you know? I mean, maybe y'all do it that way, but like, we just never finish a bottle. So I wait till I finish a bottle before we buy another one, unless I just absolutely love it and it's super hard to get. But I run into a lot of 1792. Now you run into like a 12-year or something, I'd probably buy that as a backup bottle because they're so hard to get. High West stuff, Russell's 10-year. $35 for a Russell's 10-year right there. What's with this St. Augustine the Saint? It's a beautiful bottle.
They age it in their old-fashioned barrels.
Okay.
So they pull out their normal whiskey, put in their old-fashioned mix, pull out the old-fashioned mix, put back in the whiskey.
Okay.
They're just recycling barrels.
I just feel
Actually,
the passive aggressive.
It's very good,
review
actually.
there.
That's very good.
Okay, this is a good one?
Yeah, that's actually
It's $175. It better be
Yeah.
really nice.
$200 at the distillery, so you're right, it's cheaper here.
So this is a deal.
It's cheaper here.
It's a deal of a lifetime.
I have to look at the McKenna's. I have friends looking for a certain date for
For a certain date. Henry McKenna?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's the date on a McKenna? Is it like a bottle date?
So it would be
They
a
put the
barrel.
single barrel
it's the
bottle?
barrel date, and then
Okay.
it's a 10-year. So
Yeah, it's a
this
10-year
was-
single barrel,
So
so-
this is a 2023.
They put the barrel date, not the bottle date.
Correct.
Okay.
So the opposite of like a Blanton's.
Yeah. Nulu toasted right there. Nulu French oak. Those are interesting. I might swing by Nulu while I'm in Kentucky and try some of their stuff. I have a few bottles of Nulu, but not a ton. Like, haven't had a ton of it. Have you had their toasted?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes.
Good stuff?
I like what Nulu does.
Okay. I'll have to check it out while we're up there. What'd you find?
Legit Yamazaki.
Is that something you're interested in?
Not really. Was just curious. Was just curious.
WB Saffel Batch 1.
I've been seeing those.
They're popping up.
So I saw one at one of the Dothan stores, but they were like $75 in Alabama, and I was like, no, thank you. It's really good. Like, it's a really good bottle.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I've drank the one I've got.
Only comes in a 375.
Yeah.
So if you
but it's like $50 for one pour, basically. You know, and
that's a healthy pour.
that's a good pour, but you know, it's just one old fashioned right there, and you're done. A little Evan Williams single barrel. So those were supposedly only in Kentucky. Like, they used to put them out everywhere, and then they moved them to Kentucky only, so I was told. And so they've been kind of hard to come by for a couple of years, and now here they are back everywhere. So apparently they widened back out distribution on those, or they found some somewhere they needed to move. I probably should have bought that Penelope Valencia. I'm gonna be honest, I probably should have bought it. I'm glad I didn't, because we bought too many bottles already. That's the one I probably should have just bought and backed up.
Jill's not going
I
to be
should
mad at
have.
me, is she?
For what?
For taking you to these stores for your bottles of
Nah,
whiskey.
she's out having a good time right now. She's gonna be happy. See, we saw a Cooper's Craft 100 somewhere, but it was a little pricey. See here, $30. I saw one, I think, in the Dothan video, in the last video, but I forget what it was. I just remember it being more expensive. $30 for a Cooper Craft 100. I would say that's definitely worth that price. Bacta sent us a bottle. I don't know if it was this bottle, but it looked a lot like this bottle. And the reason I don't remember if it was this bottle is because it accidentally got knocked off the bar while I was moving into the new studio, and it shattered into 1,000 pieces. So I did not get to try it. I apologize. We've only launched 2 bottles in the entire history of the channel, and both of them got knocked off the bar last week. Got a fancy case here.
There's the cast strength, 13
It is the darker color. I've got a couple of bottles of this, but that's good juice right there. 1920, Lord, all the 1924s in the world right here. Sonoma triple cask. I mean, obviously we don't even mention the Blanton's Gold. Y'all just notice that on your own. Of course, an E.H. Taylor single barrel. All short barrel stuff up here. Toasted over there. Single barrels over here. Should I be afraid to ask for prices on these?
No.
Is that where we're at?
No.
We're not at one of those.
No, we're not afraid.
Bardstown Discovery 11 back there, which I've got at home. But good stuff.
What did you want to know the price on? The 24?
Gold in the 24.
$249 for the gold, $119 for the 24.
119 for the 24. That's like MSRP on that one, isn't it? What's MSRP on Blends Gold?
$199, I believe.
$199. So it's just above. Is that the kind of budget we're trying to? I probably need another one of these as backup. Probably need another
You
one
need
of those.
points for any of that?
You got
the 24.
Is there any?
No, nothing else.
Okay.
What about the single barrel Taylor?
You have to buy a store.
I still
Okay.
pick
That's
it.
the only stipulation.
What's
how
the
much is
price?
120.
Okay. I mean, for the price,
It's the
Yeah.
right price for that.
it's the right price. But I got one. How long will it take me to finish that one I've got? I don't think these are coming down in price. I think they're going to come up in availability, but at MSRP, it ain't gonna get better than that. So much for budget on this. We're back to the old budget. We're back to the old,
sorry
like
about
we,
this.
it's your fault.
It's totally
I
my
honestly thought we would just, everything would be marked up. We would buy like one bottle and we would be done. And you've killed that notion.
It's a good thing I didn't take you to the good spots.
He told me, he's like, there's a few spots I'm just not gonna take you. I don't want everybody to know about it. So, and apparently Wednesday's the day. Don't tell anybody. Thank you. What's the legality in giving away whiskey? Do you know? Have you investigated this?
You're allowed to give me that bottle you just bought.
Like, we've looked at doing giveaways and different things, like buying bottles and then giving them to folks. Like, in person, not a problem.
Right.
Online, problem.
Problem, yeah.
Yeah.
Hand deliveries.
Yes, got to be hand deliveries, which makes it complicated. But if you want, you need this. You sure? I didn't buy him anything, but if you want it, you're welcome.
It's his birthday.
It's Brian's birthday. Brian with a Y. His birthday. Have you had a 1924?
I have not.
He's got
I
one
can't
right
thank
now.
you
There
enough,
you go.
TJ.
1924. I didn't have room to carry that crap around with me anyway. All right, do we have more stores or
We do.
All right, more stores. So we are at another Golden Ox Liquors. Where's this one? What makes this one special?
This one is St. Augustine North.
St. Augustine North, Golden Ox.
This is my friend TJ.
Hey, how's it going?
He's
Hey,
Brewzle.
TJ,
He's
nice to meet
Brewzle
you.
on YouTube. He's kind of a big deal.
He's overselling.
And you already know Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're just doing a little bourbon hunting.
Oh, nice.
We've been everywhere already. Saved the best for last.
A lot of Four Roses barrel strengths around here. This is that same OESF right there. Just got floor whiskey down there. Just, what have we got on the floor? The confiscated Kentucky Owls and all sorts of random Evan Williams cherry. I don't think I've ever noticed that. I'm sure y'all will let me know what I'm missing. Massive Family Reserve there. Chattanoogas. I've got a bunch of Chattanoogas. I've probably got 5 or 6 bottles of Chattanoogas at the house. Limited edition gift set with the Pour Spout Old Elk up there. $39. I think the Pour Spout's like $8 on Amazon. Big bottle of Old Granddad, 90 proof.
There's a more.
This
This
is about
This
where I
is
spend most of my time.
over here in the barrel picks and
Yeah, I've
things.
been telling Drew for years he needs a bigger store.
I know.
We started at PJ's.
Larceny barrel proof down there.
I got there like 8:30 and he was already there with the open sign.
Old Soul picks for 75 bucks. See, this is the same bottle right here that was $200 at the other store.
Yep.
Like same exact. I mean, y'all tell me if there's something different. Y'all can see them side by side.
Do you have a sample bottle of the Jackson Tucky? I thought you had a sample of that because we've been skipping it all day because if you had one, we were going to try it.
Jack's Tucky, no, I had it.
We've seen it at other stores, but we've skipped it because I told them before you buy it, you might want to try it.
Try
but-
it, yeah. No, I thought I had it, but
You had a taster at one time. I was kind of dependent on you, Drew.
I have these ones. I don't know how these ones.
That's not the one we're talking about.
Have you had these?
No, let's look at it. Oh, yeah, I have had this. Is this the Cuvée finish? Which one's this? Courage and Conviction, yeah.
Do you want to
The
taste
Virginia distillery. No, I've had it. If you guys want to taste it, you can.
Single malt. Is that what you said it was?
It's a single malt based.
American.
Not your thing.
It's not my thing. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
driving, so that's a no for all of us today. Plus, it's still morning.
It is.
It is still morning.
We just got
That's
an early start.
Crazy. Oh, there's a Jackson Tucky right there. They got one sitting there. We're way over budget. Do we buy the Jackson Tucky?
I've passed on it so many times.
So you've never tried it.
No.
You can't even tell me whether I should buy
I
it.
can't. Local stuff gets a little panicked.
Okay.
A little low-key.
Lots of times that's because of how they aged it, right? And I'm wondering, and that's pretty dark for 4 years. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of tannins there. So we have guilted him into opening the Jackson Tucky. We were really expecting a sample. He's like, we're going to open it. Now, this is the only one he's got. So if I like it, I'm going to have to buy the open bottle. Right. And then, what was your name?
Steven.
Steven.
Nice to meet you.
Steven rolled in, recognizes from the channel. He is going to pop this open for us.
Nice little
That's a good cork pop.
Go light, it's morning.
Oh, all right. Should have warned me earlier.
Well, one of these is yours, so whichever one you pour the most in.
Cheers, boys.
That actually smells nice. Yeah, I was expecting more barrel char on that.
It's pretty sweet.
It is sweet. Tons of almost like mint on that though.
Yeah, there's a little like rye,
Yeah,
spicy bitterness. Bitter in a good way though, not bitter in a bad way.
Dude, it leaves you with like almost a dry menthol flavor though. How it hits my palate. That's weird. And I think some of that is barrel char, but I was expecting it to be harsh oaky barrel char, and it's this weird kind of minty menthol. Also, first pour of the day, probably not the best one to judge. Interesting, like going back to that second taste, almost it almost that kind of minty almost turns into a licorice.
Maybe some baking spices in there as well.
I think these guys are definitely somebody to keep an eye on. Not my favorite bottle. Glad I didn't buy it, but a lot of potential there. A lot of potential and promise in that one. So I'll definitely try the next batch as well.
Comes out in a few weeks.
A lot better than some other stuff I've tried.
I expected it to not be good at all, and I like it. I don't love it for $80 or whatever it was, but like that's good. Like if you don't like the slight licorice mint kind of notes to it, you're not gonna like that whiskey, but it's still quality made stuff. I'm curious
It's
if
like
that's
sweet
their
and spicy.
Yeah, I'm curious if that's their profile or if that's just what this batch happened to turn out to be. We'll see.
It's not as leathery as I was expecting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was expecting a lot more of that like barrel char.
Yeah, everything I've had from Georgia seems to have a little bit more leather note to it.
And on an empty stomach for me.
Yeah, we got to go get some lunch. So we are going to do that. We're going to go grab some lunch, and then I'll catch up with y'all as we tour the St. Augustine Distillery.